welcome to another Nintendo Nightcap video, bringing you, of course, all the Nintendo news. What do we got for you today? Well, firstly, Red Dead Redemption 2. Can it be played on the Switch? Is it possible? Probably not, but we're going to get into the reasons why people think that it is coming out on the Switch. Secondly, the father and founder of Platinum Games, Hideki Kamiya, who's the director behind Resident Evil 2, Bayonetta, Beautiful Joe, and more, is leaving the studio. What will he do next? We're going to get into that. And then finally, the big one, Super Mario. Is he about to have finally his first truly proper open world game? And as a Nintendo Switch 2 launch title, no less. We're going to get into that also. But before we do, if you like what you see, you want to be part of the family, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, and that bell, and then pull up a chair and sit with us as we get into today's first story, which is, of course, Red Dead Redemption 2 on the Switch. Why do people think this is coming out? Well, because one of our good friends, Felipe, used to be on Twitter, has spotted a listing for the game on a Brazilian website. Yes, we can have a look at the listing here. We can see that it does, of course, name Take-Two Interactive as the publisher and Rockstar Studios as the developer. But is this legit? It looks legit, but is it possible? I have my doubts, because the only way I can see this game appearing on the Switch is via a cloud version. And so far, Take-Two Interactive have not gone down that route. But nonetheless, they have not done a cloud edition of a game yet, so I don't think they're about to start here. Could it be that it's listed, but it's going to appear on the Nintendo Switch 2? That's what I think is going to be way more likely. That's not to say it couldn't be done technically, but surely there would be way too many cutbacks. We have had games such as, of course, my favorite game on the Switch, Dying Light, which also happens to be, in my opinion, the best port on the Nintendo Switch. And of course, we have had The Witcher 3, which a lot of people are really enjoying on the Switch. So games of that magnitude can appear on the Switch, but with, varying degrees of success. So is this one of those cases? Will it appear on the Switch? What do you think? Let me know in the chat if you think this is a possibility, or if you think this is a mistake and it's being confused with the fact that it may come out on the Nintendo Switch 2. Right then, next up, Platinum Games, yes, the studio behind the Bayonetta series and a lot more, have just released a short but sad statement confirming the departure of industry legend and co-founder of the studio, Hideki Kamiya. Yes, the man who directed such classics as Resident Evil 2, Okami, Beautiful Joe, Bayonetta, and a lot more, has decided to leave the company. And with that, as I said, they did release a short statement. He released his own set of words, which we're going to get into. But let's see what Platinum for themselves had to say first. They went on to say, "We regret to announce that Hideki Kamiya will be leaving Platinum Games on October the 12th, 2023. We are truly grateful for his creative ideas, leadership, and contribution to the growth of Platinum Games from our startup to this very day. We believe that he will continue to succeed in his future endeavors as a game creator. We are looking forward to seeing the game industry grow into a better place with him in it. We wish him all the best for the future." For his part, Kamiya had this to say: "As announced on the official Platinum Games X account, I will be leaving Platinum Games on October 12th, 2023. This came after a lot of consideration based on my own beliefs and was by no means an easy decision to make." He carried on, "However, I feel the outcome is for the best. I will continue to create in my Hideki Kamiya way. I hope you'll keep your eyes peeled." Of course, insinuating that we will see him again, likely meaning he's probably going to be creating his own studio. But what will this mean for Platinum Games? Will they fall by the wayside as Konami did when Kojima left? Or will they stay afloat and continue to flourish like the talented studio that they are? I believe it's going to be the latter, because they are run a lot better than Konami are. But for Hideki Kamiya himself, this is very exciting as a guy who's, very creative, full of quality, and just does not miss. It will be interesting to see what he does. And of course, where will he release his games? Because if I was Nintendo, I would be approaching him day one and saying, "Dude, we will give you whatever money you want to release your first game with your new studio on the Nintendo Switch." That's what I would do if I was Nintendo. But what do you think he should do? What do you think will happen? And how do you think Platinum Games will survive without him? Do you think he's going to try and take Bayonetta 4 with him? Of course not. That's surely going to stay with Nintendo. But let me know what you think of this news in the comments below. And of course, last up for today, the big news, because yes, courtesy of our favorite leaker, Zippo, he has come at us with more Mario news and some surprise news I'm going to get into in a minute. But first of all, he has come out and said that yes, the new Mario game will be 3D. We didn't doubt anything less. But it's going to be Mario's first proper, big, truly open world game, not too dissimilar from Breath of the Wild and the Pokemon open world game that's just come out. This is very exciting news. It means it's not, as he did clarify himself, it's not going to be a sequel to Mario Odyssey. And he did release a little statement to explain what he's heard. So let's get into it. Right then, Zippo starts by saying, here we go. I know only a few things at this moment in time. Firstly, it's going to be our very first open world 3D Mario game. Given Zelda and Pokemon have taken the plunge, it was only a matter of time before the portly plumber did as well. This game will not be a sequel to Odyssey. So if you were expecting that, don't. This is going in an entirely different direction. I've been told the game looks absolutely jaw-dropping. If you thought Mario vs. Donkey Kong looked good, then you haven't seen anything yet. Thank God, because I only thought Mario vs. Donkey Kong looked okay, so thank God. EPD Tokyo are about to blow people's effing minds yet again. Lastly, this will be the game for Nintendo next year. Mario will be a day one Switch 2 game, and I would bet serious amounts of money that this will be the very first game that we will see running on their shiny new system. This will be the first 3D Mario game to be a launch title since 1996's Super Mario 64, which means this is a big freaking deal. Expect a very strong launch lineup from Nintendo and third parties alike. Exciting news from Zippo, who has got definitely good form. He's right a lot of the time with this leak, so he's definitely one to listen to. What do I think? Well, we've seen Sonic go into the big open world, and for the most part, he succeeded. It's a pretty good game, but Mario makes so much more sense in an open world. I'm very excited if they do go in that direction. I think it could be amazing. I'm glad it's not going to be a sequel to Odyssey, because I was one of the few that didn't enjoy Odyssey. I didn't like the small worlds, whilst I liked all the different things you could turn into. Banjo-Kazooie did it 25 years ago, for God's sake. And I thought the game was a bit too easy, and I didn't enjoy the boss fight, so I'm looking forward to this direction a lot more. Interesting what he says about a strong launch lineup from Nintendo and third parties. It's hinted at in the way the Switch is finishing up. We're getting a lot of smaller type games because maybe as the Switch did, Nintendo lined up all its games so that every 6 weeks to 2 months we had a big game. And I expect they're going to be doing the same for the Switch 2. Hopefully this time they'll have more third-party support, because after proving themselves with the Switch, surely more third parties are going to be more confident about supporting Nintendo this time. But the news does not end then, no, because Zippo went further and he gave an update on the next Donkey Kong Country game, also developed from Nintendo. He says, this is what he had to say about that. He starts by saying, oh boy, where to begin? I know a lot of people have been speculating that I and other sources have gotten wires crossed and thinking this remake of Mario vs. Donkey Kong is the rumored 2D DK game, but I'm here to assure you that it is definitely not the case. I've gone and gotten this double checked with every possible source possible, and I can safely say EPD Tokyo's DK game is still very much a thing. I'm going to apologize because, to be frank, I talked about this game way too early. The only other thing I can say about it is that it has indeed been moved to Nintendo's next console. That's it. When I have more, you guys will be the first to know. So more exciting news. Of course, yes, there was rumors on the Donkey Kong game a couple of years ago, at least 18 months ago. Zippo was one of the first ones who mentioned it, so I'm very excited about this. Nintendo, gonna be incredible. If we get it in the first year of the Switch 2, it's gonna be even more amazing. So, it's all ramping up now. All the rumors, everything about the Switch 2, the specs, the games, the studios involved, the price, the time of release, it's all ramping up now. This all points to the fact that the console is going to get unveiled. You have to think, in not the too distant future, you have to think. So very exciting times, but let me know, what do you think? Are you happy of Super Mario going open world? Do you expect it? Do you think it's going to be true? Will it be a launch title, or did you want a direct sequel to Odyssey instead? Are you disappointed? Let me know in the chat. And what do you think of Donkey Kong Country? Do you want a 2D Donkey Kong, or do you want a 3D Donkey Kong? I kind of want a 3D myself. I love the 2D, but I kind of wanted a new 3D one. But nonetheless, I'll take Donkey Kong in any form. But there you go, my good friends. That is the video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Awesome big news today. But guess what? I will be back tomorrow with even more Nintendo news for you all. But until then, my good friends, have an awesome one. Bye.